I'm recording this to advise people, especially the Gen Z, that at the end of the day, you may have found that you did zero work. Did zero work? The government is a very funny thing. It knows everything about you, and you know nothing about it. That is the purpose of my recording this tape. I was provoked to record it because the government has just said that it has no capitation for grade 9 in the coming year. I'll come to that. No hurry. It is better you listen, waste your bundle, but learn from it. In Kiswahili, the government is called sirikali. But Jomo Kenyatta used to call it sirikali. Even Jaramogi used to call it sirikali. But Jomo Kenyatta, I remember, he died when I was in Form 3. Jomo Kenyatta used to say, he used to tell people that he used to equate sirikali and sirikali. Now he says, sisi ni sirikali. Na kwa nini tuliitwa sirikali? Kwa ajili tuna sirikali. So the way he had coined the name, it looked like translating for Swahili for government meant top secret. So it is the government top secret that I wanted to share with you. You'll find that in the long run, Gen Z, instead of heading this way, Gen Z have headed the opposite way. If Gen Z wanted Ruto out, if Gen Z wanted a weak Ruto, if Gen Z wanted to embarrass Ruto, the result they are going to get is the opposite. The result they are going to get is opposite. You see, I've said it elsewhere, and I'll repeat it, is that for you to get a person out like Ruto or anybody, you have to have a plan B. You don't just come and mnavunja kila kitu mnaacha ikiwa on the ground and then you go. Hey, president resign, ministers resign. Have somebody so that Ruto akitoka, that person takes off. You see, I can tell you, even the UN cannot allow. It reaches that way, that is when you find UN sending in peacekeeping force. That is where they failed. They also failed to say no, just like Jim, what was his name? He said in the song Gambler, know when to walk away. And there are times when we go for, for bargaining. You look at something, like there's something I looked at, and I said it, this thing must be 1,000 shillings. So when I went there and said, how much are you selling? They said 1,100. I said, I have 900. They said later. I gave them 900. A few days later, I learned that somebody had bought the same item at 750. I regretted, but I had already bought the thing, isn't it? Why am I saying so? I'm saying that in bargain, you can go to bargain to somebody and place there something like that, where I knew it was 1,000. And then when you discover later that you could even get it at 750, you just, that is just a bad deal and forget about it. But the Gen Z, after discovering that they could still have demanded more, had they come with more things, then they now start coming up with the new demands. Wrong way. I was provoked to say this because of this grade 9 capitation. You know, grade 9 capitation is very, very important. I did Form 6, Bungoma High School, the class of 1981. My opinion is that grade 9 is the equivalent of Form 4 of our time. Grade 9 is the O level. And grade 12 is the A level. The only difference between grade 9 and Form 4 of our time is grade 9 they spent 3 years. And O level we used to spend 4 years. But you see, the IQ of a kid today is much more than an IQ of a kid during my time. And then the grade 10, 11, and 12, those are 3 classes. Us, Form 5 and 6 were 2 classes. But it was not even 2 classes, it was 1.5. Because we used to report in May. I reported in Bungoma High School in May 1980. And we did our exam in November 1981. That is 5 terms. But then the new A level is going to have 9 terms. So you go to the university with an advanced level, which you got after going to school for 9 terms, or even 8. But we used to I didn't go to the university, but those who went to the university with 5 terms. Now they are going to have 8 or 9. So huyu ni mtu anaenda university ameiva. So you see what the government is doing, and that is why I remembered Jomo Kenyatta's sirikali. They have mentioned that there is no capitation for grade 9. It's just like saying next year Form 4 hakuna. And the capitation iko mambo mengi. But then in short, ni mengi hata sijui. But let me say that capitation is financing for that class. Meaning that we are now in July. Okay, we are now in August. The whole of August, September, August is 1, September 2, October. Those are 4 months. For the next 4 or 5 months, people going to Form 4, that is grade 9, are going to a classroom where they'll have no teachers, they'll have no classes, whatever. That is what Gen Z have done. The money that the government... Okay, this is what I told you. That sirikali, you know, me, JI-TENGE, I don't know anything about the government. But the government, I know only 3%. But the government knows 97% of me. So maybe the government has money, but it just declares that we don't have money for grade 9. Why? Because of Gen Z. How can you prove? They have the papers, they have everything, And then you just come and say, okay, there are no money. Why? Because of Gen Z. Now, what will happen? Kuna kitu ingine inaitwa lazima. Money has to be found. That is when we go for supplementary budget. Supplementary budget inakuwa rahisi kushinda hii nini. Mlikuwa mnasema sijui nini. Itapitishwa. And you see, somebody was asking the PS, what about the former, previously, secondary school used to have 4 classes, isn't it? Form 1 to Form 4. Now they are going to have 3 classes. They are going to be what do you call senior school. Grade 11, 12, and 13. But what they have said is that previously, a government, and I'm a witness to that, you find a private school, a classroom has 25 students. But a government school has 150. So what these schools did, that now they have 3 classes, grade 9, grade 10, 11 and 12. Yeah, grade 10, 11 and 12. What they did is the third stream, which was to be Form 4, they created another stream so that instead of students being 75, they are now 50. So the government has to construct how many thousands of classrooms to absorb grade 9, and they'll turn to you. You either choose the students go to learn. The government may have that money, but you see, it will just simply say that if the GNCs would not have gone on strike, we would not have. They are already talking of 10 billion being lost in those demonstrations. In the government, they are not even talking of the shopkeepers. You remember the petrol station where they looted all the gas cylinders? They are not even talking about that. So it has gone back. The people you are supposed to have been tearing now are going to pay more because you have to produce more money. We have people. Yes, we have people. I had forgotten that. We have the interns, medical. We have the interns who are in the junior school, who had completed their terms and they had gone on strike and they were even sacked and reinstated, and it was even said that they were being now, apart from being reinstated, they were being employed in permanent and pension. So the government can easily go back and tell them that sorry, you cannot be employed in permanent because of JC. And some of those JCs are those teachers. And then we have offices, physical offices. I don't know who came up with an idea that Mrs. Mudavadi should have an office and financing. But everywhere, GNC complained about First Lady and Second Lady. We had that problem in Kakamega, where Oparanya is a polygamist and every wife had. Nobody has even talked about counties where the first ladies, and if it is like Meru and whatever, there is first gent. Nobody's talking. It's okay, Meru, they say they don't want a first gent to have trappings. Now you don't want the national lady to have an office and staff or anything. But you're not even talking about the county ladies. 47 of them. Not talking about them. They have the same. I remember a few years back, there was this case of Mama Menge. Mama Menge, I want to share with you as I complete my 15 minutes talk. Mama Menge and Baba Menge differed. And she just left her house and went and started staying with another man. After some time, then the Baba Menge married another woman. Then one day, Mama Menge came to me and told me that she wanted to go back to Baba Menge. You see, some things which do not concern you, you don't hold it. Because if it were me, I would have asked her a lot of questions. If you have differed with your husband, maybe you should have gone and sat somewhere. But you left your house in the morning, went and remarried in the evening. But that was not my case, and until recently I was a married counselor. But nowadays, very few people come to me. I don't know why. Maybe marriages are good. So I went to Baba Menge, said, we married counselors, we have a way of approaching things. You don't say I've been sent, no. Just say, supposing Mama Menge wanted to come back, he did not give me even a single time to think about it. He said, atakuja. And they were staying in Kibera. Said, na akikuja si kuna huyu madam mwingine. I thought that huyu sijalipa mahari, Mama Menge nimelipa mahari. Anyway, yeah, but he gave me a condition. He said, she can even come tomorrow on one condition. I asked which condition. He told me she can only come if she tells me why she left me, and the same day went and started staying with another man. I looked him into the eye and said, look here, my friend, don't go there. Because the truth, it is only the person who has done it and God. Those are the only two people who knows the truth. Now, if she comes and convinces you, that ABCD, and you get convinced, then you'll take that as truth. But even if she comes and tells you the truth and you are not convinced, you'll still do what? Think that she's cheating you. So, people get convinced with the ideas that convince them. Today, I remembered that because of the office of the First Lady, Second Lady, and Madam Tessie Mudavadi. If we insist that they don't have offices, yes, Tessie will close her office in railways. Rachel will close her office wherever it is, and so will Pastor Dorcas. They'll close. But what would stop the government, the same government, from opening other offices elsewhere? And they say, yeah, this is the First Lady's office, but it is financed by well-wishers, and it is financed by our pockets. And then maybe she has 20 employees. She'll get 40 employees. When you ask, hey, bwana, how 40 employees kwa nini? Why? This is not government money. These are donor money. Tell the donors to inquire. So, as I've given an example of Mama Menge, the thing is, we live by trust. If you try to, let me tell you, especially those people who are young. Me, I was born in 1961. I can tell the young people is that the easiest way to be cheated is to insist that somebody explains something that makes sense to you. Sometimes it's like my kid. Okay, there are so many examples, but this will be the last one. My kid, one time I was carrying him, and the rain was coming, so there was cloud house, and he was growing bigger. When he saw the rain was not coming, I told him, okay, shuka tutembea. He said, no, hapa pali tukitembea chini kuna pilipili. I told him, nasi mimi natembea kwa pilipili. Bona said watu wakubwa hawawashwi na pilipili kama watoto. I just laughed and continued carrying him up to the house. Why am I saying so? You see, I laughed and carried him. To him, he believed that he had convinced me. But me, I laughed because I knew he was pretending to be clever, but I was more clever. So sometimes, if you insist on getting the truth, that is when you'll be utachezwa. Thank you.